friends. So our letter this week is letter W, and something that we're going to be talking about for a few days is the weather. And when you go outside, there's all kinds of different weather that we can have, right? It can be sunny, rainy, snowy, maybe not in Florida, but in other places there can be snow. But also, some days you can look up in the sky, and what do you see floating in the sky when you look up? Clouds. And if it's going to be a stormy, rainy day, you might see some dark clouds. If it's sunny out, there might not be too many, or sometimes there's big, puffy clouds. And if you look up at the clouds, you can see different shapes in them sometimes. So our book that we're going to read today is called Cloud Country, and it's a fiction story, which means it's pretend, about the clouds and their shapes. And so I don't have this book with me at home, so we're going to read it a little bit differently today, but I'm excited to share it with you. So let's take a look at Cloud Country. Cloud Country, illustrated by Klocek and written by Bonny Becker. Gale floated on a warm breeze, watching the land below. Far off, a deer trotted across a meadow. Ducklings scrambled after their mother. Gale sighed, wishing she could look at the world like this forever. "Earth gazing again?" asked her mother. Gale nodded. She knew she should have been practicing her cloud shapes. Today was Formation School graduation day, when all the young cloudlets like Gale would show the guardians what cloud shapes they could make. Already, other cloudlets and their families were swiftly floating by. Gale couldn't help noticing how well they drifted and billowed. Though she'd been practicing all year, she couldn't make even one real cloud shape. She closed her eyes tightly and tried again. She thought dark, stormy thoughts. "Does this look like a cumulonimbus cloud?" she asked her little brother Nimba. "Elephant cloud!" he cried. Gale thought puffy, fluffy, fat-cheeked thoughts, hoping to create a cumulus cloud. "Lamb cloud!" Nimba clapped his hands. "Don't worry," Mama said. "I know you can do it, Gale." She hoped Mama was right. It would be wonderful to graduate from formation school, forming a cloud shape she could be proud of. But Gale was out of time to practice. The other cloudlets in Gale's class were moving onto the stage. The guardians called each student forward one by one. Ceres' cloud stretched into a wispy stratus. Strata's cloud rose into a wide altocumulus and disappeared. Bluster's cloud whirled around and around. Everyone knew he wanted to make funnel clouds when he grew up. Soon it was Gale's turn. "Formation?" asked the head guardian. "Cumulus cloud," she mumbled. Her stomach felt full of tiny slivers of lightning, but Gale took a deep breath and thought plump, floaty, cumulus thoughts. "Tugboat?" guessed the head guardian. Quickly, Gale tried again. She thought fierce, flashing, cumulonimbus thoughts. "Dog?" another guardian guessed. They were looking at each other now, and Gale could hear everyone else murmuring. "Would you like to try once more?" the head guardian asked. Gale couldn't help it. She began to rain. Raindrops pitter-pattered down her cheeks. She had spent too much time looking at the land below after all. The head guardian tried again. "No other formations?" he asked. "No," Gale whispered. "Just things like mountains and bears and frogs." The crowd gasped. "Only land below shapes?" asked the oldest guardian. Gale nodded. She could see Mama's worried face. The guardians bent their heads to talk. Finally, the oldest guardian knelt beside her. "We are so glad to finally find you." His voice was gentle. "We've been waiting for another daydream cloud for a long time." Daydream cloud? Gale had never heard of that. "You will make fish and boats, waterfalls and crows," said the head guardian. "You'll make castles in the air," said another. Gale was confused. "I'd make my own shape?" she asked. The oldest guardian laughed. That's what daydream clouds do. They make shapes from the land below, shapes the world can dream on. Congratulations, class, the head guardian announced. You have all graduated from formation school. Gail could hardly believe it. She would be allowed to earth gaze all day. She could create shapes of the many things she loved, the swaying trees, the lumbering bears, the great fish. Gail twirled so fast she nearly made a funnel cloud. Gail's mother hugged her. I am so proud of you. Nimba reached for her hand. Gail happy? Gail nodded, and she thought happy, puffy thoughts, not because she was trying to make a cumulus cloud, but because she believed that happy, puffy thoughts would make the best shapes for the land below to dream on. The end. Wasn't that such a good book? I love it. And so this week, while we're doing some of our activities for outside and our weather and our picnics, I want you guys to take some time to go outside and to look up at the sky and see what kind of cloud shapes you can see. Maybe you'll see one that looks like a bear, maybe you'll see one that looks like a whale or a turtle or a dragon or a castle. So while you're outside, I want you to think about that and look up and see what kind of cloud shapes you can see. Have a great day, friends. Bye.